So welcome students for today's lecture. So in this video we're going to learn about how to create a Simulink model for pulse full control rectifier with R load. So already I done the simulation, but here we will see the step-by-step procedure to build the simulation. Before that, in our last video, that is the simulation of diode bridge rectifier, I done a mistake. That is in the measurement block, that is what do you say, we measured the average output voltage, so it was 215. As per formula it was 207. So what was the mistake? Why was the deviation? Nearly there was a variation of 9 volt. Okay, so what went wrong was you can see the real picture here. So in the mean block we have fundamental frequency. If we give 50 Hz, you will get the original value. If you get 60 Hz, put the 60 Hz as the value, you will get 215. So on that video we didn't change the fundamental frequency to 50 because our AC waveform is 50 Hz, right? So we have to choose the mean block frequency as also 50. Okay, now our measured value was 205.5. Our calculated value, that is 2Vm by pi, that is 2 into 325 divided by 3.14, which is 207. So nearly it's matching the theoretical value. Okay, so this was wrong in my previous video. Okay, just the correction I have included in this video. Okay, so now we will start our simulation. So first step was create a Simulink model. Okay, we got the Simulink model. Now we're gonna add the required elements. Okay, before that, what we need. So for that we will go to our circuit diagram. So this is a circuit diagram. So here we need a AC supply, one component, and 4 thyristor. Okay, and then load, and then pulse. So we have to give pulse for each thyristor. For that we need pulse generator. And you have to measure the output current and output voltage. For that we need some measurement block, and you need to measure the input voltage. For that also we need a voltage measurement block, and we have to see the output waveform. For that we need a scope. Okay, first of all we will add the required components. We will start with the sinks. So sinks we have scope. So first I will add the scope. Okay, then I will move to Simscape. So in Simscape we have fundamental blocks. So in fundamental blocks we have all electronics. So we need 4 thyristor. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We have added 4 thyristor. Okay, that is scope block. So then we need to add an AC voltage source, single phase AC voltage source. I have added the same here. Okay, need loads. Okay, for that add the series RLC branch. First we will make the connection for this one. Okay, after that we will add the measurements. So as per your circuit diagram, so here this is your anode, this is your cathode, and this is the gate. So just to rotate the resistor, if you click the Control R, it will rotate. Okay, so just to change the resistor like this. So 1, 2. So here's the third one. And here's the fourth one. Okay, we have the AC voltage source, anode to cathode here, and anode to cathode here. The AC voltage is connected to this point here, and AC voltage is connected to this point. So this is a thing. Okay, next you have to add measurement blocks. Okay, for that here we have, so current measurement to measure the output current, and voltage measurement. We need 2 blocks, one for output voltage, one for input voltage. So input voltage I'll add here, output voltage I'll add here. This is the current block. Okay, so you have to connect the current in the plus, so just like your ammeter. So plus to inwards and minus to outwards. Okay, similarly the cathode is connected to the cathode here. Here anode is connected to same anode. Okay, now we need load. So we're going to select the resistive load, that is R load. So I will choose the resistor value as 100. Okay, so similarly I'm just control R to rotate the resistor, and I'm adding the negative point of the current measurement block to resistor and the end of the resistor to resistor. So this is a circuit. If you want, you can just drag and move the blocks of your choice. Okay, so now connect the voltmeter across the load. So positive to this point and negative to this point. So here also we need the voltage measurement across AC voltage. So if I want to flip the block, I have to click Control I. So if you click the Control I, it will flip. If you don't know the shortcuts, don't worry, just right click, you will get the properties. So just a second, the system was much slow. Okay, so this is a option. So in format, you can just select the font style of your block, and if you want to show the block name here, that is voltage measurement. So if I need to remove that, I can just go to format and I uncheck the show block name, it will move. So similarly, we have option for rotate and flip. So clockwise, anti-clockwise. So Control R for ready and flip block. So for this Control I. Okay, this is shortcut. So these are things we need. Now we need 3 monitors to measure. So instead of going for 3 scope, you will add 3 axes in your scope. Okay. So in the scope, I'm just adding 3 axes. One thing. Another thing, here you got to uncheck this point. Limit data points to last 5000. This is because of the memory. If you check this, if you run the simulation, it will store some of the points around. For that, to uncheck this point, and in the style you can change the thickness of your line. So here I will hit the thickness of 3 and I will check the color as red color. Okay, if you want to change the axis color, you can make changes here. So just apply. So now we have 3 axes. So I am naming the axis in axis properties. In axis property, you can naming the title input voltage. Okay, this one for first one, and this is for output voltage. So similarly, this one is your output test. Okay. So now we have added a scope. So just I am dragging this to make it bigger. So this one was to connected to your input waveform, and this one was to your output voltage, and this one to your output current. Okay, so now what is bending? So the bending thing is you have to add pulse generator for thyristor. That is one bending. You have to add power GUI block. Okay. If you want to zoom it, you can go to view. From the zoom, you can just click fit to view, so it will make it clear. Okay, so now we're gonna add pulse generator. So pulse generator will be available in sources. So we need 4 pulse generator. So I'm just dragging dropping, and you can just copy paste to create more. Okay. So here I gonna need 2 one. First I will edit first 2 and then I will add. So double click the pulse generator. So here we have the amplitude. The amplitude is the voltage of your pulse. So no need to change that. Here you have to change. This is period in terms of seconds. This time period. For us 50 Hz is the time period, the frequency. For here the time period is 20 milliseconds. That is 0.02. Okay. So pulse width, this is nothing but the duty cycle or the width of your pulse. For that we can choose 10. Whatever may be, there is a no changes in your output. So this is the main thing. Phase delay. Here the phase delay is our firing angle. So they have asked this in terms of seconds. So if alpha is our firing angle A into, they are asking in terms of seconds, so I am multiplying this by 0.02 divided by 360. So the 360 is mainly for angle. So if your the firing angle is 30, means 30 divided by 360, which will be equal to 1 by 12 into 0.02, which will give the phase delay in terms of seconds. Okay. So this one. So the same pulse we have to give for this one. Okay. So because we are triggering the thyristor, this T3 and thyristor T1. So at the same time, so I'm giving the same pulse generator for two thyristor. Okay, so this one. Similarly, we need a pulse generator for other two thyristor. So period 0.02 seconds. Pulse we can take in here. So here you have to add alpha firing angle plus 180, because there is an interval of 180 degree between two firing angles. Okay, 0.02 divided by 360. The same thing you can copy and you can just add it here. So now most of the work we have completed. So only pending thing is you have to add your power GUI block. Okay, so in this block we have power GUI. So just combine that. So now we have given the value of firing angle in terms of A. So A is taken as a variable. For that you have to give your MATLAB command window. A is equal to some value 30. So if you didn't give the value of A, it will show some error. So I have given the firing angle as 30 degree, and another thing we have to change is the AC voltage. So here the peak voltage is 325, that is 230 into 1.414, and frequency is 50 Hz. One thing we have changed. Now we can run our simulation. 0.1 second. Okay, so let us run and see how the output is the scope. So sometimes based on your system caching memory, the simulation MATLAB simulation is getting slow. Okay, we didn't get anything. Let's run or not. So this is our output. So this is our AC input voltage and this is our output. So you can just compare the same with our diagram that I drawn in terms of amps. This is our alpha. So till this point our voltage is 0. Similarly for current, and till pi, after pi to pi plus alpha it is 0. So you can see the same in your graph. Okay, 0 to alpha. This alpha is nothing but 30 degree. Okay, from this point it is getting triggered and it was conducting till this point, that is 180. After 180 again this 0, that is 180 to 180 plus alpha. So this point was due to T1 T3 and T2 T4 for this one. Since we are using R load, mostly voltage and current are in phase. Okay, so if I am changing the load into RL load, so you can simply change it here. So RL, so I am taking the inductor value as 1 example. Okay, nothing. So if you see the waveform now, so you can see output is getting negative. So before, if in the R load we have 0 for this point, now it is getting to negative voltage. So similarly, you see the current waveform, it is getting increased due to the charging of inductor. At some point it is getting the steady state value and reaching the maximum, again reaching the minimum point. So here the current is continuous and it never reaches the 0 point. Okay, even here the voltage is reaching 0, but here the current is not reaching the 0. Okay, so this is the simulation of your 2-pulse full control converter with R load and RL load. If I change the value of A, for example, let us assume A is equal to 0. So it will act as a normal diode bridge rectifier. So you can see the output voltage. So it is similar to your